Player ratings: Everton 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 2 at Goodison Park. Carlo Ancelotti's Everton make it 7 wins out of 7, 4 out of 4 in the Premier League, propelling us back to top of the league, exactly where we belong. And we're going to sit and talk about all of the players' individual performances today. So let's get straight into it. Jordan Pickford, 3. May as well get the bad performance out the way before we talk about all of the fantastic performances. As I said in the instant match reaction, there was a lot of man of the match performances today. There was a lot of top quality Everton performances from the Everton players. However, Jordan Pickford was not one of them. He massively struggled today. Look, I give him a 5 last week against Fleetwood when he made a couple of mistakes, and a lot of people jumped on me back as to say, why did he get a 5? Why did he deserve a 5? And I didn't really want to give him a lower score in a game where we were quite comfortable in winning. And it was a similar situation today. We were comfortable in winning this game, but for me, Jordan Pickford, again, just near enough everything that he was asked to do, he either didn't do, or he made an absolute, he made it difficult for himself. The first goal that we conceded, was absolutely abysmal. We should be able to have the trust and the faith in our goalkeeper to deal with situations like that. And we look back to the game against Fleetwood, and I spoke about the 2 goals we conceded, and I put a little bit of blame on Michael Keane, and I put a little bit of blame on Niles Nkunku. But I also sit here and think, well, okay, the defenders probably didn't help him in those situations. Again today, okay, he probably wasn't massively helped, but the goalkeeper is there in order to stop those chances and in order to avoid those goals, and then have a go at players if he thinks that those players didn't help him in that situation. He's not there for us to just concede constantly and then say, oh, well, what do you expect him to do? We expect him to make those saves. We expect that ball, him to either catch it or tip it over the bar or push it out, not drop it straight back into the play of a Brighton player. It was a poor goal to concede. And again, Jordan Pickford's made another dreadful mistake, and he was furious with himself. He was kicking the post, he was punching the post, and I understand that. And I dare say Carlo Ancelotti will pull him aside and have a conversation with him, but this is happening far too frequently now. There's far too many times that Jordan Pickford is being the only Everton player on the pitch that's making these mistakes. And not only is it an individual mistake and conceding a goal, but it also flips the momentum of the game completely on its head and gives Brighton a new boost of confidence, which just makes it more and more difficult for every other Everton player. And okay, we comfortably won the game today, and we sort of killed that momentum very, very quickly, but there was no need for us to concede that first goal, and it was an individual mistake. And look, for me, I think Carlo needs to be having a conversation with Jordan Pickford. He spoke last week and said that we're not in the market for a goalkeeper. If I was Carlo, I'd be right in the market for a goalkeeper, because I just don't see Jordan Pickford massively improving, and I just think we cannot go for the remainder of the season with a goalkeeper as inconsistent as that, who's making those mistakes, because he will cost us points. We were fantastic today, but if he makes that type of mistake against a City or a Liverpool or a Chelsea, and we're winning that game 2-1, and he makes that kind of mistake and flips the momentum on its head, we could be looking at a different result. So I've given Jordan Pickford a 3. Michael Keane, then I've given him an 8. I thought Michael Keane was fantastic today, done everything he needs to do defensively. I thought defensively as a whole, we were absolutely brilliant. We were absolutely fantastic, other than obviously the goal, the first goal, and of course the second goal, which was a bit of a screamer. To be fair, can't really blame anybody for that one. Defensively, we were fantastic today. We were really strong, really compact, really tight, and we dealt with everything that Brighton had to throw at us. They didn't throw a huge amount at us, but everything they did, we dealt with comfortably. So I've given Michael Keane an 8. I thought he was a pivotal part of that. Yerry Mina, a 9. Outstanding performance by Yerry Mina today. He is one of those players that I look at and I think there's so many man of the match performances to pick from. You've got James, you've got Decore, you've got Lucas Dean, you've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yerry Mina is one of them as well. He was absolutely outstanding from start to finish. Not only the goal, of course, which put us 2-1 up just before the first half had ended in a really really vital moment of the game. But defensively, he was in front of everything today. He was blocking everything. He threw himself in the way of everything. He blocked a really good challenge towards the back end of the game where Brighton were pushing for the second goal just before they scored the second. It was a fantastic latch-this tackle, brilliant block. He had cleared one off the line. He was just fantastic today. He was so solid, he was so demanding, he was in front of everything, and he got on the end of everything, and he got his goal as well. So I've given Yerry Mina a 9. Seamus Coleman, I've given him a 7. Thought Seamus played really well today. Obviously he would have got a much higher score if he wouldn't have gone off injured. Not great to see, of course, but again, outstanding defensively, didn't let anything really get past him, dealt with everything well, strong, you know, used the ball great, brought it forward, passages of play were brilliant as well, didn't really give the ball away, got himself out of a couple of, you know, difficult situations fantastically and brought us forward. I thought he was great today. Like I said, he'd have probably been 8-9 if he wouldn't have had to have gone off injured, but of course, you know, he did miss 40 minutes of the game, 35 minutes of the game, whatever it was. So I've given Seamus Coleman a 7 today. Lucas Digne, I've given him an 8. Thought he played well again, really, really well down that left-hand side. Such a pivotal player in our attack, such a pivotal player when we go forward, when we're creating opportunities, when we're getting the ball into the box, and he showed that again today, defensively as well. Didn't put a foot wrong, dealt with everything that he needed to do, stuck with his man, used his body well, used his pace well. So I've gone for an 8 for Lucas Digne. Gylfi Sigurdsson, I've gone for a 7.5. Thought he played really, really well in that midfield, to be perfectly honest with you. I thought he was solid. Again, Gylfi's had a little bit of a new step in himself, hasn't he, this season? A little bit of a wake-up call, and he's bounced back really, really well. Every game he's featured in this season, he's played well. Obviously, he's done well in the Carabao Cup fixtures, done fantastically well against West Ham last week, and was brilliant again today. Really, really solid in that midfield, throwing himself into challenges, almost playing the Andre Gomez-esque role. Really, really good ball in from him for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's opening goal, which was brilliant. And I just thought he was really, really solid in the centre of that midfield today. So I've given Gylfi Sigurdsson a 7.5. Abdoulaye Doucouré, 9. Again, another standout performer today. Another player that you look at and you think he was absolutely outstanding. He was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. Obviously covered the sort of Allen-esque role, but he pretty much done everything, didn't he? He covered every blade of every blade of grass on the pitch. He got round. He obviously got the assist for James Rodriguez's second goal. He was just absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding today, breaking up the play perfectly. Couple of really, really good last-ditch tackles as well. Picking the ball up in the midfield, playing it really, really well. Doing the simple things, but being so demanding in the middle of the park. And he didn't overexert himself either. In the moments in the game where Brighton were having a little bit of the ball in the second half, he sort of just stood off and went, you know what, I'll allow you to have the ball in your half, but as soon as you come forward, as soon as you try and get anywhere near our box or our 6-yard box, you're getting completely wiped out. And that's what Abdoulaye Doucouré done today, and he was brilliant. Like I said, the assist for James Rodriguez's second goal, Everton's fourth, was fantastic. He was involved in the third goal as well. He was just brilliant today. A brilliant performance by Abdoulaye Doucouré. Tom Davies, I've given him a 7.5. I thought he done well today. Look, he's not a fan favourite, is he, Tom Davies? And a lot of people still aren't convinced, you know, as to whether or not he's good enough. And some people thought that Fabian Delph probably should have started this game. I thought he done well. Played across two positions. Today, obviously, started in the centre of midfield, picked up the ball nicely, was bringing it forward, was using it well. Nice, easy passes. Didn't do anything overly unbelievable, but done what he needs to do well. And then, of course, went to right back when Seamus Coleman went off, and he settled in perfectly there. Made a couple of really good challenges. Saved Jordan Pickford on one occasion as well, where Jordan Pickford made an absolute howler, and Tom Davies was there to clear it away. He was good today. He was really, really good. I don't think any of us can sit here, unless you're wanting to pick at things, I don't think any of us can sit here and massively criticise Tom Davies today. He done well in that midfield, so I've given him a 7.5. James Rodriguez, 9.5. Look, this lad is just an absolute cut above most players in world football, isn't he? He is absolutely astonishing. Even in the first half, where he wasn't massively involved, and he did seem slightly to be struggling in terms of the weight of his passes and breaking through players and trying to find pockets of space. He was defended quite heavily in that first half. He still finds an unbelievably weighted chipped ball into the box for Yerry Mina's goal, and then that second half he was just everywhere, wasn't he? He's so pivotal. I think he's the player that's created the most chances in the Premier League thus far. He was involved in all four of Everton's goals today in some way, shape or form, and of course he got the third and fourth. Brilliant goals, fantastic counter-attacking goals. Abdoulaye Doucouré doing brilliantly for the fourth, Alex Iwobi doing brilliantly for the third as well, and James was on the back post for both of those to fit in. And James Rodriguez has made quite a mockery of all of those football journalists and football analysts who said, oh, but can he do it in the Premier League? Is he good enough? Darren Ben coming out, is he good enough to do it in the Premier League? Don't piss off, Darren, you're talking absolute waffle, mate. The lad's world class, and when you've got a world class footballer, they'll do it in the Premier League, they'll do it in La Liga, they'll do it in the Serie A, they'll do it Sunday League on Scotland Road, they'll do it playing in the park with their mates, they'll do it playing in the street in front of the cars. They are world class wherever they play football, and James Rodriguez once again today has proven that. Another 2 goals, another assist, a fantastic performance. And for me, like I said, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Yerry Mina, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you know, Michael Keane, Lucas Dean, all in with shouts for man of the match, but I just think it'd be quite harsh to not give it to James Rodriguez today. He was absolutely unbelievable. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, then I've given him an 8.5. Really, really good goal, of course, to open the scoring for Everton. Fantastic ball in by Gylfi Sigurdsson, and Dom gets on the end of it of a back post, rises fantastically, brilliant header to make it 9 goals now for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think it's 5 in the Premier League, 9 in all competitions. Absolutely fantastic performance by Dom today. Really, really good, of course. You know, not only the goal, but his overall play. He was holding the ball up well, using his physicality, passing it off, allowing the likes of James Rodriguez and Richarlison when he was on the pitch to get in the game. So I thought he was brilliant today. I've given him an 8.5. And then Richarlison, I've given him a 7. Quite hard to judge Richarlison any further than a 7, obviously, because he did go down quite early on in the game and had to be substituted by Alex Iwobi through an injury. Tariq Lamptey went in quite heavy on him, to be honest with you. I thought it was quite a nasty challenge. He won the ball, don't get me wrong, but I thought there was a little bit of malice in there. And Richarlison, you know, the fear that we all sort of thought going into the game was that Richarlison would pick up another knock on that ankle and that he wouldn't be able to complete the 90 minutes. And that's exactly what happened. 25 minutes in, whatever it was, he picks up a knock and he has to go off, and ultimately that's the end of his day. So not too much to judge Dom off. Not too much to judge Richie off, but I've given him a 7. Onto the bench then, Alex Iwobi an 8. Thought he'd done really, really well when he come on for Richarlison. Look, he's not the same type of player. He probably doesn't offer you as much going forward as Richarlison does. He was a couple of opportunities passing-wise where he played it a little bit too short, but of course he got the assist for James Rodriguez's first goal, the third goal of the day, sorry. It was a brilliant, brilliant ball across the box by Alex Iwobi, and I just thought he grew in confidence as the game went on, and I think he's a player playing with confidence now, and we're starting to see that, you know, little bits and spells here and there of what Alex Iwobi is capable of, and that assist for the third goal was exactly that. It was a brilliant ball in. So I've given him an 8. Fabian Delph, 7.5. Thought he'd done really, really well coming into the centre midfield. Some people would say, you know, he's probably unlucky to not start the game, which is fair enough, but I thought he'd done quite well coming into that midfield. Looked very, very solid and done exactly what he needed to do. And then Theo Walcott, I've given him a 7. Don't think Theo Walcott touched the ball more than 4 or 5 times. Didn't do an awful lot in the game, but he gets a 7 by default that we won 4-2. We were absolutely brilliant again. Carlo Ancelotti, 10. I will give Carlo Ancelotti a 10 every single time Everton are winning like that, because we have been absolutely unbelievable recently. We've been fantastic. 7 wins out of 7 going into the international break with a perfect run of results. 4 out of 4, of course, or 3 out of 3, sorry, in the Carabao Cup. 7 out of 7 altogether. Absolutely unbelievable again. Absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic run of form going into the break. Hopefully we come out the break with another win in the Merseyside derby. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what happens with injuries in terms of Richarlison and Seamus Coleman, who obviously went off during the game. Hopefully none of those injuries are too serious. Hopefully Alan's back by the derby as well, Andre Gomez. And we have got a lot of injuries, which is quite worrying, but I'm sure these next 2 weeks will give those players a lot of time to, you know, rest up and recover and get themselves in good shape ahead of the derby in a couple of weeks' time. Big thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts on the player ratings in the comment section down below. What a win for Carlo Ancelotti. What a result. And yeah, we go into the break unbeaten, top of the league again, where we should be. Up the toffees. Thanks for watching. See you soon.